Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to use Google Docs presentation with your Keuka College Gmail account. First thing you need to do is make sure you're logged into your Keuka College email account. Once you're logged in, come up to the top right hand side, there's an apps bar for your Google Apps. Come on down to your Drive folder, which if you're not sure what that is, it's basically a My Documents area of your Google Docs, where documents you created with Google Docs sit basically in the cloud, accessible anywhere on the internet. You're going to create a presentation. Now we could do a document, a spreadsheet, a form, or a drawing, but today we're talking about presentations. Google Presentation is basically their online collaborative answer to PowerPoint. It's a simple editor, but it's very powerful at the same time. We're going to choose that one, although they've got some pretty crazy looking stuff, but or some simple stuff. We'll go right in the middle and pick this one. Alright, so we start off with a blank slide. Very simple. Click to add a title and click to add your subtitle. But what are some other options we have here? Well, we have the menu bar. There's plenty of options here to get started with. Let's take a look at the other layouts available to us. We could have a title in 2 columns. It's got potential. We could have something that's just a blank screen, and we could go back in and add our own text block as we wanted to, our own images, our own shapes. But let's see, let's go with something we can work with. It's got an area for a title and some text block. So let's do that. This is going to be a group presentation on Keuka College and 4 seasons by Tom, Sally, Joe, and Sue. Alright, so you've got your text block. Don't necessarily need to take up that much space. You can click some of the sidebars, modify your text block. You could drag it around and find another location. You'll see it's highlighting the red guideline there, shows you the middle of the screen horizontally. If you go across, you could find the exact middle. There's the vertical. We don't need to put that in the middle because we're going to add some other stuff, so we'll throw that back over here. Alright, what else we want to add in? Well, we want it's 4 seasons, so how about some pictures of the 4 seasons? Now you can choose an image to upload, or you can drag an image over top of it. I've already got a folder open with some images for this presentation, and let's go with Keuka College in the winter. I can drag that right over top the Google editor. It finds the document and loads it for me. I'll come back to the editor, click on the picture and start dragging it around. Maybe I want to give that a little bit of an angle. I can find this blue dot above here. I can change the angle a little bit. If I go to the corners, you can drag the corners and it'll change the size of your image, and it'll keep the aspect ratio the same, so it won't morph it. By morphing, I mean if you were to grab the side panels and move some of the side panels, or the bottom panel, kind of morphs the image. Now maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't. We don't. Or I don't. So we're going to go back to that. Alright. So we're working on our presentation, we're getting started, and we want to share this with some of our group members so they can start working on things too. So we're going to go up here to the share option. If you hover over it, you'll see it says private only to me at this time. And it's got like a lock and key, or a lock looking on there. So we're going to click that share option. And before we can share, it wants me to call it something. So let's call it Keuka College 4 seasons. And we'll save that title. Brings up some share settings for us. It'll give you a link. You could just literally copy and paste this link into an email. However, if you do that, you will still be the only one working on it because it's still private and only the people listed below can access it. So we need to list some people below here. Who are we going to list? We're going to list Joe, student, right now. And we've got options for Joe. He can edit, he can comment, or he can view the document. Well, we definitely want him to be able to edit so that he can work on our group presentation together. We're going to notify people by email. We could just add them and then share the link, or we can make it easy and notify people by the email. Add a little message block that says, here is the link to our presentation. I'm going to send a copy to myself in my own email, and we're going to share that and save. Now, Joe was just sent an email telling him he has access to this document. If down the road you want to change permissions, we can always come back here and change who owns it. Right now I'm listed as the owner because I started the doc, but I could transfer ownership to Joe. We could make it so he could only comment on it, could only view on it, but again, we're going to leave it as edit, or we could delete him altogether, but we don't want to do that. So we're done with sharing right now. Joe got an email on his end. He's going to open up and say, oh, look at that, I can start working on a presentation. So Joe lives in Rochester and we're down in Penyan, so it makes it easy for everybody to collaborate together in one area, one document online in the cloud. You'll see when Joe joined up here, a little icon showed up and with his initial and a color specifically to him. As more people would enter and work on this, they would be assigned different random colors, and depending on whether or not they've created an image for themselves, they would show either the letter or their image up here. So Joe's in. You can see also what slide he's on. If we had more slides over here, I'll highlight this slide and I'll copy it and we'll paste a couple more slides. If Joe were working on a different slide, you would see his icon change to what slide he was working on, and then that way you know where he is, he knows where you are. We could all be working on different slides, the same slide. A very powerful tool to get everybody in one location to work on a group presentation, whether it's in this case a PowerPoint type of document, or if you're working on a Google Doc, Word document, lots of options for us. But today we're working on a presentation. All right, so Joe on his end wants to add a box about fall is wonderful at Keuka. And we see Joe working in real time as we are working on our document as well. So Joe makes some changes, and you want to tell Joe something. So you open up the chat window and you say, hey, I have a really great fall pick. Joe gets a chat on his end and he says, cool. Drop it in. Now you're working in the chat, maybe it's in the way. You've got some options here. You can modify the size of the chat window. You could minimize it altogether. You can pop it out and then you get a separate window to move around, or you can pop it in and leave it locked in to your document so that you can see if Joe has more comments. But right now you're going to go back and add an image. And we'll go find our image folder again. And where's the fall one? There we go. Let's bring that over. Go back to the editor. There's fall. Okay, so you guys are working along. You're making changes. You can see everybody's real-time changes all together. And it comes time to present. Now, since excuse me, whoever you've given access to and permissions to can come in here and actually choose the present option. Next to present, you'll see the drop down. It says present it from the beginning or with speaker notes. You may have noticed down here there's some speaker notes. If you've got a dual monitor set up, you could use the speaker notes. If you're only using one monitor, one projector, you may or may not be able to use the speaker notes. That's a little more advanced editing at this time. So let's show you what it looks like when you present. Brings up another window with some options. You can go full screen. You could go to a different slide you can start on. We have 3 slides right now. You can go, well, let's go full screen. and we'll allow it to go full screen. Google's asking permission. And then you could work your way through the different slides. Now we didn't add any transitions, so it's a little rough. So let's go back. We'll close the presentation window. And we want to add some transitions, change transitions. And we want to do it for slides. And we have no transitions at this time. So let's do a flip transition. We're going to apply it to all slides. And let's go back and present. Get our presentation window. Let's go full screen. We're on slide 1. We're going to say allow it. And then there's our transition. I hit escape to get out of the transition mode. I could have just come down and chosen the full screen or not full screen option. Close that up, close that up, go back to working on our document, fine tune some things, and there you have it. How to work in Google Docs presentation here at Keuka College.